The ship in WALL-E uses energy to create artificial gravity just to make anti-gravity chairs. Hello, and here's some shower thoughts. -40 degrees is so cold that both Fahrenheit and Celsius finally stop arguing. If you wait until marriage to have sex, then you only have sex with your family. A lap is a body part that only exists when you sit. Thor Ragnarok is about how two siblings ganging up on the third one brings them together. The Titanic was powered by boiled water, moved on liquid water, and was sunk by frozen water. If a celebrity wore shoes, the shoes would gain value. If a random person wore shoes, they'd lose value. This means that there's an equilibrium celebrity that could sell their shoes at exactly the retail price. There must be a bunch of different types of toilets in Star Wars. For the first 8 minutes of your life, the sunlight is older than you are. Identical triplets are both the rarest and most common people on the planet. Prince Charles is 10 years older than the men's UK retirement age, and he just now started doing the job he was born to do. Hellos, and here's some shower thoughts. Control-Z probably saved a ton of students' schooling. The easiest way to know if you're fat is seeing if a child draws you with a line or a circle for a torso. Gambling is only considered an addiction if you don't make any money from it. Child-proof caps on hard liquor would probably prevent a lot of alcohol poisoning. February 13th is probably the day where the most hair goes down drains. Normally, you empty a drink from the top, but with a straw, you empty the drink from the bottom. When no viruses are detected on your computer, you don't know if your antivirus software is effective or not. Being afraid to end a relationship is like a game asking you, are you sure you want to quit? Any progress will be lost. Whoever invented ladies first might have just wanted an excuse to look at their backs. Thinking must have been really weird before language. The biggest cause of cancer in mice is research. Hello, and here's some shower thoughts. There are sidewalks in Cars movies. There's a big difference if a man or a woman says they finished a box of tissues while watching a movie. If your username is Bob68, I assume you're 54 years old. But if your username is Bob69, I assume you're 12 years old. The emo aesthetic disappeared probably because everyone has had bouts with depression nowadays. Some of the tortoises that saw Charles Darwin are probably still alive today. Procrastination makes you sit 8 hours for 30 minutes of work, but also makes you sit 30 minutes for 8 hours of work. In the future, maybe YouTubers will pass on their accounts to children, making it sort of a family business. Being chosen from birth for your natural abilities to enter extreme military training by the government would be science fiction for humans, but real life for dogs. Since we test drugs on animals before humans, animal medicine must be years ahead of human medicine. A wireless charger restricts your phone much more than a wired one. Hellos, and here's some shower thoughts. If two stutterers meet, they might think the other is making fun of them. The phrase look at you tends to be positive, whereas look at yourself tends to be negative. The pencil to eraser ratio is too optimistic. The way we treat moths and butterflies is a prime example of pretty privilege. Since medicinal commercials play 50s and 60s music to appeal to older generations, maybe in the future they'll play Despacito for laxative commercials. If you lay on your back when you die and it's freezing, you could literally see your last breath. Peak productivity is actually the laziest thing you could do, since in the long run it would save you the most pain. You probably had a dream so vivid that you mistook it for a memory after some time passing. Porn sites prove that you can develop fully functional and efficient websites for mobile clients instead of forcing people to download an app. The Titanic movie is like making a romance about 9/11, but 100 years later. Hello, and here's some shower thoughts. Using Lincoln Zelda is the modern version of confusing Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster. The jocks and tough guys in film were probably theater majors in college. The brain named itself, then was surprised when it realized that. True laziness is when you memorize how many minutes out of sync your clock is instead of fixing it. The horse should be the real man's best friend, given how it was the backbone for all labor and transportation for almost all of human civilization. If you drive an old car, you're poor. If you drive a new car, you're rich. But if you drive a really old car, you're rich. Your calculator history might be more embarrassing than your browser history. There's probably someone who accidentally traveled to Australia instead of Austria, or vice versa. You cannot predict your next thought because you already be thinking it. It's a shame we say $1 million instead of $1 megadollar. If you start counting from 0 and up, your lips won't touch until you reach 1 million. Hellos, and here's some shower thoughts. Putting a book open face down is using the entire earth as a bookmark. No British king has ever used the internet until very recently. Apple probably prevented a lot of Siri Rule 34 by not giving her an avatar. In a group of very tight-knit friends, one of them won't go to any of the other's funerals, and one of them will go to everyone's funerals. Actors in commercials start off playing somebody else, and with success, they eventually play themselves. You could probably get a gift tattoo in the wizarding world. When we're old, we will probably still be trying to keep our electronics from being wet, even though all electronics in the future probably will be waterproof. When you're sick, the advice you get is to literally do drugs and stay out of school. If you have to purchase a VIP ticket, you're probably not a real VIP. You can have a fully gay threesome, but not a fully straight one. Creating a family is not family friendly. Hello, and here's some shower thoughts. You only have one birthday, the rest are congratulations for surviving. Being a truck driver for a company that transports eggs must be really stressful. Your food says enjoy at the end of the cooking instructions. You cannot complain to the company if you didn't like it, since technically you didn't follow the instructions. You're either non-binary or not, which is binary. Drinking milk and ice is weird, but if you add coffee, it becomes perfectly normal. Every creature is naked except humans, hermit crabs, and domesticated animals. Counting backwards is easy, but reciting the alphabet backward isn't. The dentist's office is one of the few places where one might inhale their own teeth. Your 20th birthday is actually your 21st birthday. The random equals funny humor didn't go away, it just evolved. There's no practical difference between 3 and 4 urinals. Hello, and here's some shower thoughts. A fatal injury is also a lifelong injury. Waterboarding is torture, but snowboarding is sport. Morbidly enough, meat consumed as comfort food is also an emotional support animal. Electricity is basically magic, we're just accustomed to it. The ad for the first TV in color must have been black and white. Most of us have dead bodies in our freezers, they're just not human bodies. Remembering that you forgot your deodorant will probably make you sweat more. You can't go in a clothes store if you don't already have clothes. Since carbon dioxide is denser than oxygen, we lose weight through breathing and gain weight by being alive. Chewed up food is delicious until it leaves the mouth. Then it's disgusting. You have to wait your whole life to see if you get murdered or not. Hello, and here's some shower thoughts. Really smart and really dumb kids both think school is stupid and or boring. Squats are a pain in the ass. It's childish to make sexual jokes even though children normally wouldn't understand them. Wolverine and Deadpool cannot be circumcised due to their healing factor. The longer you wish someone well, the meaner it seems. Nothing lasts longer than the video someone's showing you that you have no interest in. People with prosthetic legs can choose their own height. Stoplights are in Christmas colors. Good drivers miss their turns more often than bad drivers. Getting very drunk is more fun than being very drunk. A 500-page book really only has 250 pages in it. Hello, and here's some shower thoughts. Saying you want to sleep with a MILF is a redundant statement. The LGBTQ flag is straight. Water is technically what a rainbow tastes like. The better you get at math, the further you get from real-life applicability. Bitcoin probably did overall less harm to the world when it was only used to buy drugs and fake passwords. Dogs would love if we put a toy into their food bags like cereal. Dinosaurs probably had feathers considering that birds are their descendants. We are conditioned to think of dogs when we think of Pavlov. Deaf people probably end up not seeing as many helicopters as people with vision. There's probably trace cocaine in every ATM due to people doing lines with their credit cards. You see more suns at night than day. Hello, and here's some shower thoughts. Future generations won't know that cars used to go vroom. When you're under clouds, you're technically underwater. An early bus is usually worse than a late bus. Millions of people wake up at the exact same second due to their alarm clock being on their phone. All men at the bar, regardless if they're gay or straight, hope that other handsome men at the bar are gay. When you feel stupid, it's usually because you got smarter. Mike Wazowski can't be choked. There is a certain size where a cup stops being a cup and becomes a bucket instead. Hiding drugs on a dog might lower the risk of getting caught by drug sniffer dogs, because the police might assume the sniffer dog is just excited to see another dog. Children think adults are more free, and adults think children are more free. Military grade makes something seem very high quality unless it's food. Catgirls in anime being clumsy makes no sense considering how agile cats are in real life. Hello, and here's some shower thoughts. Killing animals feels more evil than killing humans in video games, but in real life, it's usually the other way around. There's a probability that you might never use a physical dictionary ever again. According to polls, 100% of people are willing to answer polls. Arguing online is turn-based combat. The furthest thing we will probably ever see in our lives are stars. A lazy person might say they're busy more often than an actual busy person. Maybe the reason we don't have any visitors from the future is because we have no future. Being homeless must be getting harder and harder the more people replace cash with credit cards. Trees live underground, but they just use their upper body as a snorkel.